moved to reach for the iPad again, but hesitated at the last minute. Whatever this message says, it's too little too late. Maybe I should just block him.
"Hey,"
Abby says softly.
"let me."
I nod. Warwick Chester is my biological father. He was an excellent parent, right up until a few weeks after my 7th birthday, when he left for work and never came home. All I remember from the first weeks after he disappeared was feeling impatient. I was so sure that he loved us too much to leave us forever, so I knew it was only a matter of time before he came back. It's been 25 years, and the message Abby is reading right now is his first ever attempt to contact me. Warwick did show up at my grandfather Don's funeral last month, but he sat at the back and left as soon as the service ended. He didn't even acknowledge me or my twin brother, Luca. I wouldn't have seen him at all if I hadn't joined Mom on stage to support her as she read the eulogy. It was a confusing day. Even before I noticed Warwick, my grandpa Don loved his family fiercely, but he had a mean streak, especially with me and Luca. Mom was devastated to lose her father, but my feelings on his passing were more complicated. I didn't have the brain space to try to figure out how to feel about Warwick's presence that day, so I chose to simply ignore it.
"It's a group message to you and to Luca."
I guess that makes sense, as much as any of this makes sense. Do you remember when he first left? I asked her quietly.
"I was what, 5 years old? I do remember sitting in the treehouse with you and Luca while you tried to figure out where he'd gone."
You cried with us, I say softly. Abby offers a sad smile.
"I remember wishing that I knew where he was. I thought I could go just get him for you guys."
Abby, Luca, and I grew up in Syracuse in upstate New York. My mom and stepdad, Jack, still live in the house I was raised in. On the other side of the small park next door, Abby's parents still live in the house she was raised in. Abby's 2 years younger than me and Luca, but for as long as I can remember, she and I have been best friends. It's fitting that she's helping me navigate this, because she's been there for all the other key moments in my life, too.
"Should I read this to you?"
she asks. Does he want a kidney?
"What? No! Why would you even think that?"
Seems odd that he's suddenly messaging us on Facebook like a long-lost camp buddy, I mutter. He wants something, right? Abby extends the iPad toward me, and I take it with a sigh. Dear Marcus and Luca, maybe it's unfair of me to drop into your lives again like this, but Don's passing last month has left me in a difficult position. Now that he's gone, I'm going to lose track of you altogether if I don't speak up and take the chance that one or both of you might be willing to try to rebuild some kind of relationship with me. I have no excuses for my absence, only a depth of regret and sadness that is impossible to convey in this message. Will you consider a call with me? Warwick. I exhale, then set the iPad on the table again. Abby throws her arms around my waist and rests her cheek against my chest with a sigh. Abby smells like strawberries. I think it's her shampoo, and I really like it. In fact, I like it enough that I'm momentarily distracted by it. We are firmly just friends, although for a brief moment earlier this year, I hoped we might become something more. That's past now, and the only throwback to that phase of my life is that sometimes I notice cute details about her, like the fact that she smells heavenly all the time.
"I'm sorry," she whispers. "I can't even imagine how you're feeling right now."
I'm fine, Abs, I tell her with a quiet, confident laugh. Of course I'm fine. I'm 32 years old, for God's sake. I have a great apartment and amazing friends, and I'm the co-owner of a software startup that's growing so fast my life feels like some delicious dream. Abby isn't fooled for a second. She sits up to stare at me, and the piercing look in her big brown eyes forces me to interrogate my own reaction. The pain of it finally hits, and for a second, I don't feel like a successful 32-year-old man at all. Instead, I feel an awful lot like the 7-year-old kid who kept sneaking out of bed to sleep on the rug in the foyer because he needed to keep an eye on the front door in case his dad came home.
Don't even bother pretending this isn't a huge fucking deal.